Can three self-proclaimed ball knowers take on the smartest AI models in the world? Us over here at 3 and Out have decided to test that theory. Can we take on the smartest AIs in the world when picking against the spread in 5 key college football games? Looking at the 5 key matchups this weekend, we have Ohio State as a 1.5-point favorite over Texas, Baylor as a 2.5-point dog hosting Auburn, Miami as a 2.5-point underdog hosting Notre Dame, Colorado as a 4.5-point dog hosting Georgia Tech, and then Florida State as a 13.5-point underdog hosting Alabama down in Tallahassee. So let's kick things off with Eric, as this was his idea. Eric has Texas covering against Ohio State in the shoe. He has Auburn covering on the road against Baylor. He's got Miami covering at home against Notre Dame, Colorado covering at home against Georgia Tech, and then Alabama getting over the hump and really covering that huge spread against Florida State on the road. And then we're moving on to my thoughts. Apparently, I hate home teams because I have Texas on the road, Auburn on the road, Notre Dame on the road, Georgia Tech on the road, and Alabama on the road, all against the spread. That's hilarious. I just thought about that as I was reading this list. But road to cover. That's what we're going to call it. And then moving on to Brandon, who has to be different than everybody else, has to go Ohio State covering at home. Auburn, however, he does get back on the right track. Go Auburn covering on the road, Notre Dame covering on the road, Georgia Tech covering on the road, and then Florida State covering at home. And then now we move on to the machine. Grok, ChatGPT Premium, ChatGPT free version, Gemini Pro, Gemini, and Copilot. So one of my major worries was that the AIs would actually all have the same answer, but you can even see in the Texas-Ohio State game, we've got Grok on Texas, ChatGPT Premium on Ohio State, ChatGPT free on Ohio State, Gemini Pro on Texas, Gemini on Texas, and Copilot on Texas. So, we have a 4-2 split in the first game. However, my fear did come true because all 6 of the AI models are taking Baylor to cover at home. And then we get back to a 4-2 split with Notre Dame and Miami in the favor of Notre Dame. And then funnily enough, we have a 3-3 split in the next game. We have Grok, ChatGPT free, and Premium all leaning towards Georgia Tech, while Gemini Pro, Gemini free, and Copilot lean towards Colorado covering at home. And then lastly, we have the one game that all of the AIs can agree on, and that's Alabama covering the number on the road in Tallahassee. So if this is something that y'all want to see moving forward, we think this is a really interesting idea. We're going to post an update after all these games take place to have a scorecard to see who did the best, man or machine.